Hi, I'm Anthony Guardia with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Stoneham and Wakefield Main Streets. I'm here today to talk about one of our newest initiatives and partnerships, boating on the lake, Wakefield Community Boating. I'm here with my dear friend and partner in crime, Logan Gallagher.
Hello.
And of course, another dear friend, kind of like a second mom to me, Susan Wetmore, Wakefield Main Streets Vice Chair. So, you know, before this started, we knew that the community had a lot of questions, a lot of thoughts about what we were doing at the lake, the connection to downtown Wakefield, the help that we'd be providing businesses. Ryan Boyd, the executive director of WCAT, reached out, asked if we could put together a quick, TV show and try to answer all those questions. So we got the toughest moderator we knew, the person who will ask all the tough questions, who's emceed our gala, who's been to events, Logan Gallagher, to ask away. And before we start again, but thank you to WCAT for doing this. Thank you to Ryan for coming to this. And actually, Susan, I don't know if you know, but Ryan and I were born on the same day, same year.
Every time.
Oh, that's amazing.
Trivia question.
That's
always
amazing.
comes up.
Lucky Ryan.
Yeah, I know, very.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
great.
both of us. But Logan, we'll turn to you. I know you've been working on questions. What do you have?
Well, the first question, arguably the most important question. Anthony mentioned something about you being like a second mom to him. Are you just as disappointed as his actual mother?
Well,
Well.
Logan, thank you for that start.
Well, that's such an excellent question, but a parent gives unconditional love, is all I can say, and that is truly a challenge sometimes, but well worth the effort in the long run. That's all I'm going to say.
Well said, Susan. And good question, Logan. I mean, I'm glad we came right out and got to the meat of the matter.
Well, as I've heard before, Anthony has a face that only a mother could love.
So,
Anyway, so what is Main Streets exactly?
So Main Streets America is a national organization, and basically they want to revitalize downtown all over the country. Downtown used to be the hub of activity for most places, and with the addition of malls and big box stores, that really went away. So, people wanted downtown, and I think that the pandemic is a good place that people are really realizing that. Wakefield Main Streets is a small group for that, and our goal is to establish and promote downtown. And that means a lot of different things. That means beautification. We've done the flowers. That means looking at the facades of buildings that need to be more uniform or need some sprucing up, and try to help with that. And obviously, we want people to shop downtown, because when you spend money locally, that comes back to the town in a bigger percentage than it will if you go shop at a box store. Not that everything, shopping, needs to fuel our economy everywhere. But when it's really important to the local economy, you really have to look locally to see if you can spend some of your money there. So that's what we do. So we try to promote businesses. We try to work with them and see what they need. So that's essentially it. We've been around since 2014 in Wakefield, but the entire national program has been around for much longer. So we're growing.
and if it's okay, and Logan, I know you have other questions, I want to follow up on Susan's comments, because she's right. Main Streets has done a lot of projects, and she did a great job kind of listing them. And specific to boating, we drafted a proposal. I think it's still online on the town website. Don't hold me to it, but if you ever need it, please feel free to reach out. All the ideas for downtown initiatives were brought on by Main Streets. The Boys and Girls Clubs didn't think of one of those ideas. It was all Main Streets who had met with business owners, and even now you see it. So we've had about 700 kayakers or boaters because of Main Streets, and actually because of the work of Susan, specifically Susan and Ann Hadley. I don't even know who Ann Murphy is, but Susan and Ann Hadley.
She has not helped.
Yeah, Susan and Ann Hadley have gotten coupons from nearly every downtown business that we've basically have given to them. Susan worked with some of our staff at the clubs to create a map of downtown Wakefield that we gave to every boater. So they're pushing it. And we're also selling tickets to kayaking at the Savings Bank, Smith Drug, and Holiday Travel. So, these initiatives are all Main Street spurned, and actually, in the actual legwork and actually doing it, it's great to write it. Credit to Susan; she's been the one who's Susan's the person you see literally picking up the coupons getting the coupons from the businesses, printing them, and then putting them in her car and bringing them to the lake. So yeah, she works.
Susan's a chronic volunteer, so that's,
yeah. Well, Logan
yes.
works for the clubs. We're trying to teach him work ethic, Susan. We need him to learn from you.
Yeah, not him.
Yeah, actually, that was a great counter to my insults, Logan. Good for you.
I would say run.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. All right, and I know I kind of jumped in there.
It's fine. You had important things to say.
True.
So what is the connection between downtown and the lake?
Well, it's interesting, and I've been a chronic volunteer for like close to 15 years, and something that's always been brought up in every downtown discussion is the lake is the gem. The lake is the gem of Wakefield, and many people from the town outside come a long way for the lake, but they don't realize that downtown has a lot to offer as well. So it's been a constant question, and there's been many things tried. I don't think anything's been as unique as this, because the Boys and Girls Club is also a nonprofit, as is Main Street, and we're looking to make it better for Wakefield, first of all, and to say, how can we take people show them the lake and all it has to offer and bring them downtown. So that's the goal. It's a question that's been asked. This is the beginning year, the first year, so a lot of it is experimental. It's like, what will work?
Well said.
We don't really have anything that has worked or been tracked. So I think that's what we're trying. It's it's the pilot year. So hopefully we're doing a lot of things, we're going to do a lot of things and track a lot of things that will give us some information. We're not really going to know what the information is until after the boating season is over. But we hope to get feedback from people that use the boats, from people that have been working there, as yourself and Anthony, and businesses from downtown. Did this initiative work? What can we change? How can we improve it? So with any pilot program, it's exciting because it's new, and we're trying, and we look for information and feedback, absolutely, to make it better in the future.
No, and just to comment on what Susan just said, it's all true, and I liked the idea of the first year, and it's like we don't know what we don't know yet because
Correct.
It's a pilot year. And to Susan's point, the whole history has been, how do you tie downtown to the lake? Because, and I say this, we don't have a theater like Stoneham, we don't have a pool or a skating rink, but we have a lake. And I will take that lake over all those things because so many people come. And one of the ideas that was presented to us after we had written the proposal, but I think it's worked, and again, credit to Susan here, who was the volunteer who put it together, was, hey, a lot of people after kayaking ask us where to get food. So we created a link tree, which for anybody who knows, it's just a QR code. We have huge signage, we have flyers on the brochure. You literally scan it with your camera app, and it brings you every menu in Wakefield to every restaurant. So you literally see a list of all the restaurants that are downtown within walking distance, and then it gives you their most recent menu. So if you go kayaking and you're hungry or you want to get a drink, you can do that right then and there. And that was just one of the ideas that kind of came up naturally. So hopefully it keeps going, because the ideal scenario is somebody either before or after, goes to our downtown. And there's no easy way to calculate this, but and I'm hoping I'm saying the right nonprofit, I'm giving them credit. I think it's like the American Institute for Arts has what's called an economic generator calculator. And the idea is any type of nonprofit event, if you bring a person to your downtown, how much economic revenue does it create? So we just, for kicks and giggles, we said, all right, let's just say 700 kayakers we brought downtown. So they estimate it's 25,000. Now there's no official number, there's no stats, that's just, they take peer communities, peer events, and see what the average was and extrapolate that. But hopefully it's working. I mean, again, we'll know more in the years to come.
And as far as the coupons go, I mean, that's a physical thing that people can see, that they receive after they go boating. So after you've gone kayaking, are you going to run downtown and go, shopping for a dress or going out to dinner? Probably not. But to have a physical, and I know it's a very digital world, and it is good to have both, because sometimes just looking at it and say like, oh, well, what is this? And you might put those coupons away, and when in September or October, when you're not having as much recreation because you're back to work or back to school, you're going to say, hey, let's go for a walk at the lake now, and let's go, frequent that restaurant or something. So that's what we're hoping, and that's what we're trying.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and as a teenager, I'm more invested in the digital world than anything else right now. So I think you're right in the sense that digital and physical are both things. Because even the coupons got my attention when I was, packing them in the pamphlets.
Yes, Logan also helped. I mean, I helped too, by the way. Nobody gives me credit.
Yeah, a little bit. Well,
and it's certainly, the digital piece can be added. That's one thing if that's the feedback.
Yeah, just like the QR code.
Correct. The
QR code was in the pamphlet, yeah. And the last question we have for you is, why is it important to support downtown? Why is it important to
especially now, I think.
Yeah, especially during the pandemic.
Well, it always has been, because there are dollars that are spent downtown that will keep in the downtown. The other thing that every nonprofit and every group that needs to raise money always goes to their downtown first, and that's never truer nowhere more than Wakefield. And I find that after doing this for 15 years, the majority of the businesses and the organizations downtown are very, very generous to almost every, cause there is. That's what Wakefield is. I still like to think of it as a small town, even though it's really grown since I've been here since 1986. It's been a while. But we feel like it's a small town feel. We want to take care of people. We want to take care of each other. And the downtown is very supportive of that. So why aren't we giving back more? Why are we always asking them to donate and not really seeing what they have to offer? And so just if you even go to a couple of businesses downtown before you go outside of town and see what you can do. Hart's Hardware is very useful to homeowners. There's clothing shops. The banks are hugely supportive, and the restaurants can't be beat. So, I think that's important, to give back and to take care of your own.
And one of the points we like to stress too is, and again, we've been recipients of a lot of that generosity from downtown businesses, but what you notice about small downtown business owners, when they give a donation, it's basically out of their personal checkbook, right? And I'll pick on Rada. Rada's not giving money from the Rada Foundation or the Rada store. It's a donation from the Rada store is basically a donation that she is not paying herself. Same with North Shore Pools. Same with all the businesses downtown, all the restaurant owners. An expense on their books, whether it's a donation, is not the same as maybe a huge foundation that gives. And they're all equally important. We appreciate all of it. But it is, Susan, to your point, that generosity is coming straight from somebody's pocket. It's not, they don't have the luxury of having maybe some sort of charitable foundation. Hopefully one day. I would love, Rada would be great if she had a charitable foundation one day. Mm-hmm. And I think Logan, I know, and to Logan's point earlier, him and a lot of our kids were doing a lot of the stuffing, so we appreciate that. So Logan, I think your questions are for me, right?
I do have a few questions just for you.
Thank you.
Just to make you feel special. And if you have anything to interject, feel free, because I know he did
Sure.
it.
I always do it.
Yep, I know. Yeah. So why did the Boys and Girls Club partner with Main Streets for this initiative?
Because of Susan. No, all right. No. So no, we had a...
No comment.
Yeah. So it was actually, we have to give credit where credit's due, right? So we've always look to expand recreational opportunities. We've always done it. So, people, the clubs aren't just the four walls of the clubs. They're not just the facility, right? We do hiking at Breakheart, at the Fells. We do fishing. We do a variety of things. But it was, I guess we should give Bob Malhoit some credit, right? It was the chairman of the board, Bob Malhoit, who actually reached out to me and said, hey, the boating contract is up. Main Streets wants to see it done by a local nonprofit who could be more involved in town, who would be more interested in connecting Main Street to boating. Obviously, Main Streets is a very small nonprofit. They don't have the staff. Would the Boys and Girls Clubs be able to do this and willing? And, we went right to our programming staff, and the short answer is yes. God works in mysterious ways. A lot of our staff comes from an ocean safety background, so we were very lucky. And from there with Main Streets, we reached out to Friends of Lake Quannapowitt, WCNA, the Quannapowitt Yacht Club. The organizations that you probably would call the stewards of the lake because they're right there, right? Their mission is very Quannapowitt centric, and they all got on board. But we knew it was going to be important both to the downtown and to Wakefield as a whole to have a connection to Main Streets, and no pun intended. I mean, what better connection than Wakefield Main Streets? And again, credit where credit's due. This idea, all the problems, any complaints people have about this really should be directed to Bob Malhoit. He was the one who made the phone call that started all this. But Susan, I don't know if you would agree, but that was kind of, the idea.
I would agree. And in a world that unity is not really an easy thing to come by, I think that, and we do have a lot of organizations, a lot of nonprofits, that it's a very unifying thing to see groups with very different missions come together really for Wakefield, really for, to further their own missions, but to work with and partner with other people. And I think that that's rare in this climate right now. And I think it's a perfect thing that I think something that we needed to come together.
You're absolutely right, and well said, because sometimes, communities, and it's not just Wakefield.
Correct.
All communities do this, right? You see the little Facebook groups, and it's the same 20 people who comment, and you sometimes forget, you look at that and you see the divisiveness in there, right? And you think that that's the reflection of the town. But the truth is, Susan, you and me have been doing this for a long time in Wakefield.
Right.
We've seen it. None of the people who really, I shouldn't say none, a majority of the people who really invest a lot of time in Wakefield aren't part of those divisive discussions. Two, you can see it. You can see that this brought a lot of people together because, Friends of Lake Quannapowitt, WCNA, Main Streets, there have been issues in the past that they've disagreed on, and there have been issues that they agreed on. And the fact that we realize, we're neighbors and we're friends and we get along and it's okay for us to disagree on one issue and then agree on the other is really probably what the country as a whole and maybe some national people could learn from us. Because, Susan, me and you don't even agree on everything.
No, differences are natural. Discussion is good, but coming out and having the greater good, it has to be your cause. So I feel like that's, in a small way, that's what we're trying to do here. And so far, knock wood, it's going pretty well, I think. But
well, true. By the way, kudos to Susan for pulling that back as I was going on my soapbox. By the way, she literally just pulled that back right into.
That's what a mother does.
Yes, thank you. So to get back on track even more, why did the Boys and Girls Club decide to take on this boating initiative?
That's a good question, Logan. It's because that was really one of the first questions that came up was why would you do boating in general? And the short answer is, we've always done boating, right? We've always had kayaking and nature programs. This isn't like something, a Boys and Girls Club renting boats is not unheard of, right? It's not this specialized area where only one company does it. No, the YMCA's do it, rec departments do it, Boys and Girls Clubs do it, and private companies do it. It's something that we just were fortunate enough, A, to have experience in among our staff, but B, because there was a real need in the community. Like, our job is to expand recreational opportunities, right? Our job is to give these kids we serve as much many programs as we can. And we really see ourselves both in Wakefield, Stoneham, and the surrounding communities to be stewards of those towns and moving them forward in a variety of ways and trying to help the town in as many ways as we can. So, we tend to try to say at our clubs, we see a problem and we try to fix it. So I'll give you another example. Recently there was a pipe burst at the Galvin. Now, you guys remember that, there was the flooding and whatnot. So we opened up right away. We opened it up, said any kid who wants to come can come, and we had a lot of kids there over the course of 2 days, and we did their schooling the next day. This is similar. There was an issue. There was a recreational opportunity that wasn't being utilized among the town, wasn't being, utilized among different parties, wasn't connecting the downtown to the lake, wasn't working well with those nonprofits we had mentioned. And for whatever the reasons they are, that's what was happening. So, we were approached and we saw this problem and we said we could do it. So we put forward our proposal and like I said, knock on wood, the success so far has been great. We have again, how much can you tell? But, we have Groupons and Google reviews, and if you go on them, they've been all 5 stars. Amanda and her team have gotten rave reviews, and, you look at the numbers, as of yesterday, we surpassed, as of today, we're going to pass 700 boaters. So it's been going well. And then the other part of it is we saw it as an opportunity to help other nonprofits. We now do Kayak for a Cause, which is basically any and every nonprofit who wants to do something similar to restaurants, where if you eat there, 50% or whatever goes to your charity. We do 50% of the sales go to your nonprofit. And we have quite a few coming up, from the PTOs in both Stoneham and Wakefield, we just did a cancer walk, we did a Boston Marathon runner, and we have a few. I think we have close to 12 ready to go. So that list is on our website and on our social media.
And pretty soon Wakefield Main Street.
And Wakefield Main Street's really doing it as well. Susan is actually going to lead the first kayak. She is going to race Bob Malhoit, I heard.
No, she's not,
race.
but that's good publicity.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, it is. We really have the mantra, if you see a problem and you think we can fix it, let's do it. I mean, another example too, we just got asked, town meeting asked us to do babysitting. Town officials said, hey, a lot of parents want to come to town meeting, but they can't do babysitting. You guys know nannying now, you can get up to $20, $25 an hour. Will you guys offer it? We offered it. So it's, again, if you have a problem and you think the Boys and Girls Club can offer a solution, we can't always do it, but we try our best.
And I mean, I think obviously the Boys and Girls Club, especially in Wakefield, and that's the only one I really know about, is a very incredible organization. And I think I appreciate that when you say that you have reacted to things, but I think the real great thing about it is that you're proactive and have a long-term vision of greater good. And that's what you're good at. You're good at being not you specifically necessarily,
So
you
close,
are,
so
but
close.
the organization as a whole is very proactive to what is needed in the town, and I think that's admirable.
No, thank you, Susan. And I see, I'm looking at your phone, Logan, because I'm seeing the questions. So I'm going to try to get a sneak peek. But no, I'm sorry. What's your next one, buddy?
So the final question that I have for you is, I know the summer is coming to a close very soon, but what are your plans for the rest of the summer?
No, that's a good question. So our hope is to go as far into October as possible, right? By November, I just can't imagine. But the idea is, as long as the weather holds up, we're going to keep going. So we've been telling everybody projected close date is October. Until then, we're still going to keep doing the charitable events. We're still going to be open Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. We're hoping that the weather kind of stays, days like this, it's somewhat too hot, so we're hoping more like days like yesterday without the rain. But our plan is to keep going. Our plan is, and hopefully next year, and with COVID, hopefully in the rearview mirror, to do more with the town in terms of Festival by the Lake, Movies by the Lake, and the 4th of July. Because I think that would really immerse this even more with our community. But for now, it's to just keep going till October, have our normal, allow our fundraisers, maybe do something special for Festival by the Lake, again, depending pandemic, of course. But that's our goal. That's our plan. But New England, the weather changes. This has been a really
I
weird
think
summer.
the only thing that hasn't cooperated so far is the weather for boating.
You're
So we could
absolutely right.
we could have a very hot September. So I mean, I think that's
Welcome
it's
to
yet to be seen. Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, we had 700 people, and we know that blows away some of the past usage. With this weather is incredible. So I think to myself, what would have happened if the weather was better? And which is a positive because, if you look at the Groupons, so again, we have a Groupon, but if you look at the Groupons, to your point about economic initiatives, I don't think we've sold one Groupon in Wakefield. And I think that might be because the Wakefield residents get a discount. But all the Groupons are being purchased from out of town. So hopefully they're coming, they're seeing the menus, they're getting the coupons, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe if we want to go to get sushi, we'll go to Sakura, or
Well, I hope
few
some
things.
downtown businesses hear what you're saying, and so we do have a good portion. We have a majority of the businesses, but there's still plenty of businesses that can put a coupon in, and it's free of charge. We print them, we put your logo on it, and they will be good to the end of October, whether boating is happening or not. So let me just put that plug in.
Yeah,
for the
well, you're
businesses.
absolutely right. I mean, well, it's fun because people ask, is boating going to be open next week? And the short answer is always like, yes, of course. But the longer answer is, it depends. We depend on the weather, we depend on the fire station, we depend on what's happening. So guys, thank you so much. I know we're approaching the 30-minute mark, but Susan, I guess I'll defer to you or Logan. Do you guys have any last comments or?
That was my last comment, that we want businesses involved, we want people using the coupons, we want people visiting downtown and giving their feedback to us.
No, and I'll, because I always have a final remark, right? Do you want to do the closeout actually, Logan? You can do the closeout.
No,
Thank you.
please.
But I do want to say thank you to all the volunteer groups, especially yours, Susan, because I think it's interesting. Kevin Pescadlo, I think, said this to me, so I should give him credit many years ago. But when you look at a community, there's like certain people and certain pockets that really make it, really give it its identity. And Susan, you're one of them, and everybody on Main Streets is one of them, I think. And then, so those are the people who make a community, and to see so many of them rally around this, it's humbling and just something we're so grateful that they've entrusted us. We call Lake Quannapowitt Wakefield's front lawn, and the fact that we've been entrusted with that responsibility means a lot. I know it means a lot to me personally, and I feel like I can safely speak for the Boys and Girls Club board and staff that it means a lot to them as well. Logan, do you have any final comments? Any thoughts?
Take advantage of the weather while it is what it is.
Good, no, it's good. All right, well, thank you, and thank you to WCAT. Thank you to everybody
Absolutely.
being here. Ian, Adam, Amy, Barbara, just a great team, Ryan. They're wonderful, so we're very lucky to have them in Wakefield. And who knows, maybe we'll do a WCAT day too at the lake. We can
Sure.
kayak. I'd love to see Ian. Ian will build a canoe. If you know him from Wakefield Community Access Television, you'll know that this is very true. He will build a canoe, and then he will personally swim around the lake. So that'll be fun. All proceeds to help WCAT.
Probably not, but yes.
We'll see. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Thank you for watching and spending a half hour with us.